friends, it's Peggy Noe. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is my little sweet dog, Ellie. And we're here today for a Facebook Live to show you how to create a fun thank you card, a fun and pretty thank you card. And Ellie wore her new little piece of hair. This is like a little piece of pink hair. And she's been trying to get it out, but I thought it was so cute. I really wanted you to see her pink hair today. I do all these things to her, and I don't think she likes any of them, but she indulges me. And there she is with her pink hair falling over. How is the weather for you today? It's really beautiful here. It's sunny and warm outside in the low 70s here in San Diego County. And I'm really looking forward to this weekend when we're going to go to daylight savings time. That's going to be so nice. I mean, it's already become light at 4 o'clock when I do the Facebook Lives, and it's going to become much lighter and stay light longer, and it's just going to be nice to be in that warmer weather, isn't it? Hey, Linda, good to see you. So today we're going to talk about what's new with Stampin' Up! This week, and that is that we have some new products, new free celebration items. 5 new free items were released this week. Oh, hi, Ellie. Linda's saying hi to you. Yeah. And I want to talk to you about one of them in particular, and that is the flowering foils. And so I'm going to put Ellie down, and we're going to make a thank you card today, and we're going to talk about the new Flowering Foils Designer Series paper. Okay, and I'm going to turn my phone down so you can see what I have on my desk today, what we're going to make. Okay, here we go. And there it is, 3 beautiful thank you notes. And I'm going to turn it so hopefully you can see right side up. Okay, how is that looking for all of you? Let me know what you think. And I hope you can see these 3 pretty thank you notes. I'm going to flip over here and see who else is on the call. It usually takes a minute. This is what we're going to make today, and I've done them in 3 different colors for you. Let's see, I'm going to make sure it goes right side up. Okay, everything looks good. And so we've got purple and pink, and really, I'm not using the proper names, but Gorgeous Grape, Blushing Bride, and Pretty Peacock. Hi, Sue. Good to see you. And the specific thing I want to show you, the star of the show on these, is the beautiful flower, which is from the new flowering foils. So let me show them to you. Because they're free, I mean, why not get them, right? All you have to do is place a $50 order. And here they are. It's 4 different patterns of foil, and I'll separate them so you can really see because they are a bit blingy. This is kind of a crosshatch look, and I actually like it. It's copper, and it really has the look of a rose gold. You get 12 sheets, 3 of each of 4 different patterns. This is a silver, kind of a daisy look. This one is lots of loopy flowers in both the copper and the silver, and I think that's real pretty. And then the one we're going to use today is this pretty, I don't know if it's a rose. I think it is, but it's a gorgeous flower. And again, it's also in the copper and the silver, and it has these little extra kind of little bee blossoms, and it is gorgeous. So what I've decided to do today is to cut it, to fussy cut, which you know means just cut with your scissors, not a die, to cut out some of these flowers and show you how you can use them on a card and how you can use this beautiful paper. Okay, so let's go back to our cards. And here they are. These are the 3 colors. And today the one I'm going to make with you today is this one that's more of the Pretty Peacock color. So here it is. And the other technique I'm going to show to you, in addition to working with the flowering foils, I'm going to show you, and I think I've shown it once before, is how to distress an edge. So let's get started with our card. And here we have all of our different pieces. So we start with our card base that is 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And then I've cut a piece out of the Woven Threads Designer Series paper. And here's the back of it. I've decided I wanted to really use the Pretty Peacock color. And it is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And to distress, we're going to use scissors. These are our paper snips that we have at Stampin' Up, our scissors. And all you do, now they do have distress tools, but Stampin' Up doesn't have any. And so I'm going to show you how to do this with your scissors. Just with the flat side of the blade and tilt it a little bit inward, you just really don't even want to press too hard because you can tear the paper, and I will tear it a bit as we go around. And just get that edge distressed. And the one thing I think that makes this card pretty is that 2 of the papers are distressed and have, I don't know, a little, I think it's a casual kind of a look. It's not as formal. It gives an easygoing look. And you see how it tore a little bit there. The Designer Series paper is thinner, and so it's you have to be a little more careful with it. But when it tears like that right there, it's absolutely fine, because that's the way it's supposed to look. And for the sides, the little corners, you just have to kind of go after them. I mean, when do you get to really mess up a piece of pretty paper? So there is that's the first piece that we're going to put on. And the second piece is a very pretty piece of Purple Posy cardstock. And this one is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 inches. And I've pre-embossed it with the Country Floral embossing folder. And I'll show you that folder. It's one of my favorites. And it's a 3D embossing folder. I know it might be a little hard to see, so I'm going to put it at different angles so you can see how pretty it is. This is the inside. And when you run it through the Big Shot, you just use the standard base and 1 clear plate on top. This does not use the blue plate, which Stampin' Up also sells, but this is one that uses just a plain clear plate and a base. And I did that for this piece of Purple Posy because it really contrasts well, I think, with the Pretty Peacock. There's a lot of P's in there, right? Purple Posy, Pretty Peacock. So we're just going to start distressing this. Now the cardstock is, I think, a bit easier to distress because it's thicker and I don't have to be quite as careful. I can be a little more rough. Like if you're kind of in a mad mood, you can just attack some paper like that. Kind of get a few aggressions out like that. And the corners usually do turn out just a little wonky, and that is good. That's the way it's supposed to look. Okay, so both of our pieces of cardstock have been all distressed, and now we're going to adhere them to our card base with my multi-purpose liquid glue, which you know I have in my fun pink nail polish holder. And I like this holder because it keeps my glue down at the top edge, so it's ready for me whenever I'm ready. And I've told you can get it on Amazon. And they come in pink and white for sure. I don't know they may come in other colors, but those are the only 2 I know. Okay, so we're going to put our Designer Series paper right on like that. Now we're going to attach with multi-purpose glue our Purple Posy cardstock piece that's been embossed and distressed. And I'm going to try to get that right in the center like that. And I think those look so pretty. Contrasting. I really like the contrast, and they're both in colors for 2019-2020, so you know they look well together. Now we're going to work on our flowering foil rose or flower. I've cut it out from the large piece, and now I'm just going to do a little fussy cutting to finish it off. And I don't know if you've ever been told this. It helped me so much when I started, that for fussy cutting, you turn the paper rather than your scissors. And that really helped me to know that. So I'm just cutting the leaves. We're going to go in and sponge color on them. It's not hard to cut at all. It's really easy. And you just keep turning your paper, and it really makes the cutting a lot easier. Actually, it's peaceful. It's very calming. Now I'm going to cut off these little blooms or berries, blossoms, just because they're a bit hard to color with a sponge if you're just coloring one item, like this one selected rose. If you have the whole sheet and you're sponging the whole sheet, which you can, and it looks gorgeous, then it doesn't matter. But when you're doing individualized sponging, it's kind of a bit much. So I cut those off. And here we go. We're just almost finished. You don't have to be a perfectionist for this one because it's just a very free-flowing rose. Now we're ready to do some sponging. And we're going to do our sponging today. The main color of the flower is going to be Highland Heather. And so I have my sponge daubers, and I just pat them and then just start going round and round. Pat the sponge dauber, tap it onto the ink pad, and then just color. And if some parts get a little more colored, that's fine. You can go back, and a little darker, you can go back and color them in. But really, the foil is so receptive to the sponging. I think it just comes out beautiful, don't you? And you can see there are some lighter areas. I'm actually going to try to get it a bit darker because I really want it to show up against the purple posy paper. Sometimes if I twist my sponge dauber, it'll get a little bit more ink on it. So that's what I'm going to do here, just to get a bit more ink. Isn't that pretty how it's turning out? There we go. That's our Highland Heather. Now I'm going to put a yellow center in, and I'm going to use Daffodil Delight ink, and I have another sponge dauber. The sponge daubers are very inexpensive, and I kind of have one set out for almost every color that I use, because that way I know that when I sponge, my color is going to be true. And for this one, you just press once, and well, maybe I'll press twice and just turn it around like that, just to get it a little yellow center. And then we're going to do the leaves in Granny Apple Green. You know, this has become my favorite green. It really is, because it's bright. I think it's a happy green. Some greens are muted, but I think this is such a happy green. I really like it. And look how pretty that looks. And the sponging on this foil, it's easy, and doesn't it look beautiful? There's no real problem with, it just somehow gets in the right area. It's not moving on to the purple at all. And that's it. And now your flower is sponged. Isn't it a beautiful flower? All of these foils, every one of them is gorgeous, and you're definitely going to want them. It was the first item I wanted. So now I'm going to attach my flower down in the right-hand corner, and I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to raise it up. And I'm just going to put 3 on arbitrarily like this. You may have noticed my nails are kind of long this time. I let her do them too long, and I'm struggling a bit, but I know I'll have them trimmed shorter next time. Okay, so I'm just going to put on my little flower, and then lastly, I'm putting on a thank you sentiment. And because I'm not really using a particular stamp set for this, I chose a thank you sentiment that I really like. I like the font on this, and it comes from the Tropical Chic stamp set. It has I really like these fonts. It has "With much love and thanks, you are the greatest," and "Thank you." And I have used this thank you sentiment a lot. And what I've done is I've embossed it with white embossing powder on a piece of Pretty Peacock cardstock. Love Pretty Peacock. It is gorgeous. And I'm just going to put it on dimensionals right up there. And then my card is going to be done. And what I want to do, actually, because I want it to hang over a little bit, I'm not going to put a dimensional under there. I'm going to put my dimensionals under the side that has "you" on it. And then this will just hang over, but it will be secure. Otherwise, it's actually 2 different levels. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. I'm not explaining myself right, but because the purple posy is a little higher, I'm going to put both dimensionals there. and just tap that on, and there's your card. Isn't that super pretty? I really like the way it turned out. In fact, I like it so much that I'm using it as thank you cards for all of my customers this month. So if you're one of my customers, you're going to get this card in the mail. I made most of them in the purple, but I actually ran out of this color. This is from the Poppy, the Painted Poppies, Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper, and I used all of this paper to create my customer thank you cards. So I started exploring different colors, and I like these just as well. So if you're one of my customers, you're going to get one of these cards this week. Now, thank you so much. I see some more of you are on. Linda Knight Brady, hello, how are you doing? I love it when you make comments, because then I can see that you're on there. And I want to request, if you don't mind, if you would share this video. There's a little place to share right under the screen. And I would really appreciate it if you would share with a friend. You can just click share and you can send it right over to them so that they can see what we've done here today. And if you share, I'll find out, but also put share in as a comment. And if you do share this card this week, I'm going to send to you one of these thank you cards. Anybody that shares, I've got plenty of the thank you cards this time, that whoever shares the video by, let's see, today is Friday, by Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, if you have shared this video, I will send you a thank you card in the mail for sharing the video. And I'll put a little post-it note inside so that you can use it again, and I'll just write on the post-it note, and then you can go ahead and send it to someone else. So thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope that you love this flowering foil as much as I do. To place an order with me, right above the video is a place that you can click that you want to place an order. Go right to my online store, and then if you place a $50 order, you'll get the flowering foils for free, which is a great deal. So thank you so much. Put on your calendar to come back next week at 4 o'clock. You can also have Facebook remind you, and I would really appreciate that. Thanks a lot, and hope you have a really great weekend. Bye-bye.